Four greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, argon, water vapour and neon. The atmosphere extends 100 kilometres above from the Earth. 50% of the Earth's atmosphere mass is held at 10 kilometres above the Earth's surface. Atmospheric pressure decreases, becomes thinner the higher the altitude. Climate change is the overall change in weather over the planet over time, whereas global warming is the long-term warming of the atmosphere. So, in thermite reaction used on railways to produce molten iron for joining rails together, the diagram shows how the equation for reaction is 2Al plus Fe2O3 makes Al2O3 plus 2Fe. What does the reaction show about the reactivity of the iron compared to the reactivity of the aluminium? Iron is less reactive than aluminium. This is called a displacement reaction because the aluminium replaces the iron, resulting in displacement. Sodium reacts violently in order to become stable due to the attractive forces between the outer shell electrons and protons in the nucleus weakening, which go towards the outer shell. Sodium is less dense than water, therefore floats. Sodium plus water makes sodium hydroxide plus oxygen. Me pongo enfermo y get ill. Climate change leads humans have complied with weather records since the 1817, showing climatic change over this period. The high amount of carbon dioxide stores in the layer of ice within ice-cold reflex reflects how the climate that at a time that layer of ice was deposited. High levels of CO2 reflect warm temperatures. The widths of tree rings reflect the climate during this year, and that the ring tree grew. Warm and wet years lead to thicker rings. Cool and dry years produce thinner rings. Features that are preserved in the present landscape, which could not be formed under current climate conditions, are indicative of a climate change. Type of column preserved in the sediment can be used to establish which plant species grow at the time of sediment deposition. From this, climate change can be determined. Extraction of metals. An ore is a metallic compound forming in the ground. Hematite, and they're all oxide, most are oxides. Hematite, iron-free oxide. Bauxite, aluminium oxide. So iron, so metal plus O3 for both of them. Iron is extracted by carbon reduction in the blast furnace. Aluminium is extracted by electrolysis because aluminium is more reactive than carbon. So the blast furnace, coke or carbon, hematite and limestone, calcium carbonate, is put into a crucible and blasts of hot air come into it. Reactions. Carbon plus oxygen makes carbon dioxide. C plus O2 makes CO2. Carbon dioxide plus carbon makes carbon monoxide. CO2 plus C makes 2CO. Iron-free oxide plus carbon monoxide makes carbon plus carbon dioxide. Fe2O2 plus 3O plus 3CO makes Fe plus 3CO2. The last steps are how sand, silicon dioxide, is removed from the ore. Calcium carbonate, these are the following reactions. Calcium carbonate makes calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide, thermal decomposition. Calcium carbonate makes calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Calcium oxide plus silicon oxide makes calcium silicate. This is neutralization. So CaO plus SiO2 makes CaSiO3. Metal oxide base plus non-metal oxide acidic makes salt. Carbon silicate is known as gypsum, used in road building and walls. was just a couple of things in the last exam which I didn't understand that well. Because I wasn't here. Let's just see. Thingy. The imperfect tense, so it's to say you're currently doing something. Oh no, what you were doing. So I was going on, for example. So it's aba, abas, aba, abamos, abais, aban. Ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais, ian. And same for IR for the ER. Bear is used differently, so beia, beias, beia, beiamos, beiais, beian, iba, ibas, and for ia, it's iba, ibas, iba, ibamos, ibais, iban, and ser, it's era, eras, era, eramos, erais, eran. The imperfect of I is abia. There was, there were, there used to be. This forms the verb haber. So it was going on when something else happened in the preterite. Tomaba el sol en la playa cuando cogí una instalación. I was sunbathing on the beach when I got sunburn or sunstroke. To give background description or set the scene when talking about the past, el paisaje era muy pintoresco. The landscape was very picturesque. El sol brillaba pero hacía fresquito. The sun was shining but it was chilly. So it used to do how things used to be. Cuando era joven, veraneaba en Swange. When I was young, I spent summer in Swange. Mis abuelos no podían ir de vacaciones. My grandparents could not go on holiday. Conditional, you get the infinitive of verb, so comprar, and add the following endings. Ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais, ian. Se podían la televisión en la salón pequeño. They would put a TV in the small lounge. Su casa es bastante bonita, pero cambiaría los muebles. The house is quite nice, but I would change the furniture. Haber is habría, there would be. Me gustaría, I would like. Debería, ahorrar energía, you or we should save energy. No se debería usar bolsas de plástico. We shouldn't use plastic bags. Quite right. No funciona, doesn't work. No está limpio, isn't clean. Sucio, dirty. Cambiar, change. Hablar, talk to. Descuento, I want a discount. Quejarme, I want to complain. Necesito, I need. Me hace falta, I need. Falta, sorry. Almost done. So, the preterite irregular verbs. Ir is fuiste, fue, you know that. Estar is estuve, estuviste, estuvo, estuvimos, estuvistes, estuvieron. Hacer, hice, hiciste, hizo, hicimos, hicisteis, hicieron. Tener, tuve, tuviste, tuvo, tuvimos, tuvisteis, tuvieron. Poner, puse, puiste, puso, pusimos, pusieron. Poder, puede, pudiste, pudo, pudimos, pudisteis, pudieron. Venir, to come. Bine, biniste, bino, binimos, binisteis, binieron. Querer, to want, quiste, quisiste, quiso, quisimos, quisisteis, quisieron. Decir, to say or to tell. Dije, dijiste, dijo, dimos, dijisteis, dijeron. Ser and ir are identical, so fui, for example, can either mean he or she or it was, or he or she it went. So, say something you will do or say something what happened, you use the future tense. So, compraré, comprarás, comprará. Compraremos, compraréis, comprarán. So irregular verbs. For irregular verbs, the future tense stem is not the infinitive. Here are the most common ones: vestem. So they don't use. So it's the infinitive plus an ending. These do not have an ending to them, they change. So, poner, to put, pondre. Decir, to say, dire. Saber, to know, sabre. Venir, to come, bendre. Bendre. Querer, to want, care, double R. Salir, to leave, salge. Hacer, to do, are. Tener, to have, tendre. Poner, to be able to, podre. So, este año iré de vacaciones en España. This year I'll go to holiday in Spain. Lloverá, it will rain. Vendrán, so irregular, will come.